This is a show called Solution America, and we're covering not so much the election stuff today, that'll be later on, but we're looking at some of the issues that face everyday Americans, and we introduce you to people who've come up with solutions to those things. So we're going to talk to a woman now who had a tough time changing her name when she got married. Her problem was, and I guess this is a problem for a lot of women out there, it's the time and hassle that it takes to get your name changed after you're married. The solution, online name changing service that saves brides an average of 13 hours of hassle. Danielle Tate is an entrepreneur. She's the founder of MissNowMrs.com. You can find them on Twitter at MissNowMrs.com. Good to see you, Danielle. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Rick. Thank you for having me.
So what was so tough about changing your name after you got married?
You know, I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, and I got back from my honeymoon, printed out all my paperwork, went to the office and waited to get my new driver's license, and here in D.C., you know, that's a couple hours out of your day, so I took the day off work, got up in the front of the line, and they're like, oh, this is an outdated form, despite the fact that it was on their website. Please go to the back of the line and fill out this form. So I do that and, you know, wait in line the second time, get up there, and the clerk smiles and says, you brought your marriage certificate, but not your certified marriage certificate.
Oh.
We can't give you a new license. So the frustration from just trying to change my name on one little piece of documentation sparked this idea. I came home to my husband. I was frustrated. I said, why isn't there a service that does as much of the name change as possible? And he looked at me and said, well, you should do that.
So you were in a totally different field altogether. You were in medical sales, and you decided to put that job aside and to pursue this website. Again, it's MissNowMrs.com. That must have been a little bit frightening. I imagine you were making pretty good money in medical sales to all of a sudden, you know, start trying to launch a brand new website and all of the, you know, the potential pitfalls that could bring. How did you decide to finally make the leap?
You know, I did some research and I looked into it. 2.3 million women a year get married in the U.S. and 88.6% of them change their name in some way. So there was a big enough population at a life stage inflection point that I felt like there was a pain point with a lot of people that would purchase a service that would save them 13 hours of hassle. So weighing those odds against my job, I sort of worked both simultaneously and then finally quit my position in medical sales to devote all of my time to Miss Now Mrs.
We're taking a look at some of the video that's very cute, very nicely done, the animation on your site. So walk us through it here. It says 3 easy steps. When someone signs up for MissNowMrs.com and pays, there is a fee. What is it? Is it $29? Is that $29.95?
That's correct.
What services do you provide?
So instead of that individual going to all of the different offices, manually collecting their forms, sitting down, manually completing them, and then driving back, standing in line and filing them, we offer them a 3-step process. So we'll ask them a few questions like what's their maiden name, what's their new married name, their state, etc. We use their questions to auto-complete all of their state and U.S. government paperwork. So Social Security, the IRS 8822, their passport, their driver's license, voter registration, which is very important today, with the U.S. Postal Service. And then we also do notification letters for all of their banks, credit cards, insurances, mortgage providers, professional licenses, all of that. And it takes about 30 minutes as opposed to 13 hours.
Wow. Well, I mean, that sounds, you know, for 30 bucks, it sounds like it's worth it, you know, considering all of the hassles that are involved with the process. I don't remember my wife complaining too much when she changed her name, but I guess different states have different requirements. It depends on where you live.
Absolutely. Every state is different, and that adds to the confusion level. If you talk to a friend in another state, you may have a totally different filing process than she does, and you could end up goofing things up inadvertently.
The one thing that she did complain about, Danielle, in all honesty, was having to take on the name Fullbaum. She liked her maiden name sounded much better, rolls off the tongue a little bit easier. I want to talk to you about taking this idea and turning it into a success. If someone out there who's watching us and listening to you right now, they have an idea. They feel like there's a sort of a need that's not being met by anyone, and they want to launch a web-based company to try to help people out with something. What do you think people, the top two or three things that people need to know if they're going to try to launch a business like you did?
My suggestions would be to fully examine the problem and make sure that a large enough group of people find it to be a problem. I would also make sure you found like the best possible solution for that problem before you begin a startup. And then most importantly, I would suggest plugging into the entrepreneurial community within your own city. When I founded Miss Now Mrs. back in '06, there really wasn't a whole lot of community for me to be a part of. But in 2012, that is a totally different story. I feel like entrepreneurism is exploding across the nation, and here in D.C. alone, there are so many ways to plug in and get help and suggestions. CoFoundersLab.com will help you find your business partner and help you meet them at a meetup. You could go to DC Lean Startup and learn how to start your business on a very small budget. Or there's things like The Fort, which is an incubator, which will help you grow your business, gives you office space. There's just so many neat things that you can participate in and be a part of to get your business off the ground more successfully.
Danielle Tate is an entrepreneur, and she is the founder of MissNowMrs.com. You can find her on Twitter at MissNowMrs.com. So good to talk to you, Danielle. What a great idea, and we appreciate the tips for all the budding entrepreneurs out there. I'm sure they're very interested in what you have to say. All the best to you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You too.